creative problem solver. When I was about 12, I was camping with my friends in Yosemite National Park, and we wanted to go rafting. Unfortunately, our raft had popped the day earlier. But not to be denied, I took an inflatable couch from my cousin, and we used that to raft down the river instead. Communicator. Whenever my parents would get into a fight, I could tell right away that it was just because of a misunderstanding, and so it became my job to tell them what was really going on. Mediator. Because of this skill in communication, I was usually the ones that my friends and family turned to when there was a dispute that needed to be settled. Now, because these easy relationships seem to form on their own, people began to fascinate me, and they still do. The way they think, act, and communicate with each other is engrossing. I find myself inexplicably drawn to working with people from all walks of life and in all capacities. Working with and for people has always been a passion, and thus a motivator to me. But these are just some of the things that define who I am. Over time, I picked up a few more interests. Economics. It seemed like growing up, all of the problems going on in the world had some kind of roots in economics. I wanted to be able to understand these problems, what caused them, and how to fix them. Negotiation. As a communicator and natural mediator, negotiation seemed like the most natural thing in the world to me. It also made the most sense, since it is such an invaluable skill to have when you are working in a military environment, where you're constantly interacting with other people who you don't necessarily control. Now, add a touch of grand strategy, a love for Spanish-speaking countries, and a slight addiction to the sport of crew, and more or less you have who I am right now. So the million-dollar question then becomes, where am I going, and what do I want to do? In short, I want to serve, be it in uniform or out of uniform, as a FAO for Latin America, or later on in life as a diplomat or a policymaker for the United States. What I'm most interested in is how politics, foreign affairs, international relations all interact, and how economics tie all of these issues together. How can I fix the problems that already exist? How can things be improved? And most importantly, what steps need to be taken to get there? That's where the critical thinking comes in. Whether I'm dealing with a soldier in my unit or trying to develop a new policy that will alter the economic relationship between the United States and Mexico. Critical thought is imperative. The world is full of complex issues, moral and ethical judgments, and tough problems, particularly so in the military, making critical thought all the more important. Now, being able to look at a problem, take it apart piece by piece, look at it from a number of different perspectives, and create an argument is one thing. But being able to defend your own argument in either a written or verbal format is something altogether different. To me, that makes it a necessity to practice and refine these skills now. Critical thought, like negotiation, will become another tool in the toolbox, albeit one that probably receives considerable more use.